welcome back to Alpha Mods, everybody. So as you guys can see, it's getting to be spooky season around here, so we're putting up some decorations and doing a little bit of things like that. Hopefully you guys can forgive me because my voice is going away a little bit. I think I've just had a little bit of a sore throat going on for a extended period of time. But anyways, we're going to be doing something pretty cool. We're going to be refreshing our interior with this pre-programmed, easy to install 2020 up shifter. This is the perforated leather, and it really just seems as simple as 4 10mm bolts. So after, you know, kind of looking around the internet for some videos, of course the only person that's going to have something cool like that is Modded Motors. They made a short, so huge shout out to them, because well, yeah, bro, I looked at your video before I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna be showing my audience how to install this, and we're gonna go do that process now. I just have to get the car pulled out of the garage. You guys can see, still got my sick headlights going on there. I love that so much. It's gonna take me a long time to stop like obsessing over these headlights. But anyways, I think it's gonna make a big difference. So we'll go ahead and pull the car out and get in the sunlight. Okay, so we're back in the interior of the car. And as you guys can see there, I've got a little bit of custom wrap over this stuff. I do have carbon fiber, and this is legitimate carbon fiber. It's just not as good as the OEM stuff. I really did want to get a different feel. One of the things that you notice like very quickly on with this is you have this kind of like a trigger versus this one that's a lot shorter. Not as much. It just doesn't have the same feel. It really doesn't. So I think it's going to be a nice upgrade overall. And I think for anybody that's wanting to do this, I found an amazing supplier. So we're looking at maybe 150, depending on if he's still going for the same price of 150 euros plus shipping to the United States, and then VAT, which should come out to honestly not very much, maybe like $10 or something like that in taxes. But anyways, if you get this shipped out, honestly, this got here really fast, so I'm excited to get this in here. And I kind of want to go over the step-by-step process. But again, huge shout out to Vincento, who's from Italy, literally my guy. I'm going to be putting his name down below here in 1 second. You'll see it on the screen somewhere there. But you can search him on Instagram, or if you guys really, you know, are interested in buying this. Again, this is pre-programmed, so if you go buy this from the dealership, even with the correct part number, if it's not pre-programmed, it's not going to work. So this is a drop-in, plug-and-play thing, and it has to come from somebody who already has it programmed. So whoever his supplier is obviously does the programming, and well, we're about to find out how all that's going to go. So let's go ahead and dive into this install. First up, we're going to be removing this, and then we're going to be pulling some trim pieces. I know my car is a little bit dirty, but honestly, I have a 3-year-old, I have a wife, you know, we're in and out of the car all the time. I don't have it perfect, and I don't really feel bad for the fact that it's not perfect, because the Giulia is just kind of like a fun car that I drive maybe 2 or 3 days a week. It's not a weekend warrior kind of car like you know, like my Camaro was, or anything like that. So it's still partially daily driver status, partially. But let's get into this. And like always, this is just a me thing. I always do this when I'm doing any type of installs. I turn off the car, I pop that trunk, take a second just to admire the whole QV vibes we got going on in the back. Oh, and you guys can see that's some nice carbon in the sun. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and just unplug this and just cut any power. That way when we're messing with stuff, the computer doesn't freak out. I think it's probably the best thing to do. And then we'll go ahead and get set up in here. You're gonna need a trim removal tool, so I'm gonna go ahead and go get that. Okay, so now that I've got the tools, we're gonna go ahead and see about trying to get this done in real time. Might have a little bit of, so go ahead and get at the edges there. Again, I'm kind of doing this with one hand, so. And go ahead and yank up. So again, my piece is wrapped. Next, we're gonna pull this back. I'm gonna find an edge, and you'll feel it. Things will pop up. That's fine, that's what we want. Go ahead and pull this back as well. So essentially you're just getting all of this out of the way. Now, there's going to be connectors in here, so I'm not going to be able to show that, but you basically find what you have and kind of unplug it as you go. So one of them is right here, and all of these are like really simple. You kind of just pull and pop out. We can get them all. And once I get the rest of them, I'll go ahead and show you. Okay, so you guys can see there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. The next thing to do is this plasticky stuff. It looks like it's been melted in the sun. Doubt that that's on purpose from the factory, but now what you're gonna do is get your 10mm, and it's gonna be these 4 right here. So start with 1, and I'm just gonna kind of go around and do the rest of them. Once they're loose, you can probably just get it with your hand. It won't be as big of a deal. So I will see you guys in a moment. I'm gonna take care of that. And I can probably say it's pretty obvious, don't drop these. So once that's done, looks like this comes up and you've got one clip right there. So we'll go ahead and just remove that, and in the same form and fashion that I'm holding this one, I'm going to find where this connects, which should be the same place. So let's go ahead and move this kind of out of the way. I'll go ahead and throw this one in here. Put that piece right back in there. So what I'm gonna do is this material here, I am gonna transfer it. So I'll go ahead and do that and get back with you. Also, I want you guys to note the orientation of this. It's gonna be going around this part right here. And it probably goes without saying, you wanna put these on finger tight before you start tightening them down. And then we're gonna go through, once we get through the process, we're gonna add this crap back on, plug everything back up, but not put everything in yet, and then turn on the car and test it. So let's go ahead and tighten everything in, and then we will go from there. So I'm just retightening these 4 back again. Okay, so basically once you have all the little connections back in, all this is still going to be loose, and that's fine, because what we want to do is come back to the battery, reconnect it. Again, that's back here in your terminal. It's just a quick disconnect. That's all we did. And we're gonna want to turn on the car. Okay, so once we clear those errors, let's go ahead and turn it off. Turn it back on. Check if we have any codes. No codes. And then, as always, we can check, does it go into drive? Yes, it does. Does it go into park? Yes, it does. So, we have successfully installed this. Now let's get all this back together here, and we'll be good to go. Oh, one thing I did want to mention in this video that I didn't have a chance to was that if you drop liquid in here, you will mess up your shifter. This is just a reoccurring theme in the Alpha forums and the Alpha groups on Facebook and stuff like that. So if you ended up in that unfortunate situation and you need a shifter, let me know. I have this one, so I can help somebody out. Also, if you're in that situation and you have a little bit of time to spare, might as well upgrade to that. But that is a prone problem. You have your drink here, some liquid gets in there, and it does manage to short stuff out, because if you're looking at this, it's not the best insulated in the world, especially in those connectors right there. I mean, you can tell it's gotten dirty, and I haven't messed with this shifter ever in the lifetime of this vehicle. So there's that. And basically it's not too hard. I mean, you literally just make sure that this is inserted back into here, and then you push down. It's not something that was even camera worthy. Also, this literally drops back into place, so it's just a matter of, I mean, it's something that I'm doing with one hand at this point in time, so it should be pretty good. And then again, I'm gonna just double check and make sure that we got all function, that I'm in drive, so we're moving. Make sure my paddles are working, which they are. Make sure my reverse is working, which it is. Putting it back into park. So we've successfully installed this pre-programmed 2020 shifter. You guys can see here's the old one that we've got here, which is kind of, honestly, for what an Alpha is, Alpha could have done better. Let's be realistic here. This is pretty cheap, plasticky feeling versus perforated leather, which actually feels nice. I mean, even in comparison to the steering wheel, it makes me really want to upgrade the steering wheel. But again, got a really great supplier, and hopefully, if anybody's interested in this, you can either message him directly, or you can message me and I can get his contact information. But it's like I've said a million times, pretty much anybody that I work with, from vendors or people who sell parts for the Alpha or anything like that in general, I'm here for the community. So, you know, I'll do a product review, say, hey, I liked this, I didn't like this so much. I don't really pertain like a brand loyalty to anybody other than, you know, if I really admire the product. So with that being said, this is an OEM part that's been pre-programmed. There are a few places you can get them. You can also go with e-tuners if you want. Everything is up to you as a consumer to decide what you want to do. All I can do is point you guys in the direction, and I gotta say, it works, and I'm really happy with it, because just from a feel standpoint, it is a really, really good upgrade. Well, I hope that video helped you guys out, and I really appreciate you guys checking out my channel and watching everything else. So if you guys like this and it helped you, and you guys want to see more stuff in the future, because more stuff is coming, I'm getting something really special for the front of the car here in a minute, then I would appreciate a sub. It always helps, and a like, and then we can do more cool stuff, like have a 2018 with brand new headlights. So thank you guys for being a part of all of this. Alpha Mods out.